The member states of the African Union International Center for Girls and Women Education have advocated for the girl child education which was impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. During 3 days of meetings in Kampala, the member states debated on finding practical ways of addressing key areas for girls and women livelihood through education and skills empowerment. Mrs. Yankee Simon, the coordinator for African Union International Center for Girls and Women's Education in Africa, said that they have embarked on their core mandate to coordinate and promote girls and women education in Africa with the view of achieving the economic, social, and cultural empowerment.
But African girls' education and also women education in Uganda, because we think that Uganda represents a country where girls' education is really at the heart of the work of this country, or the heart of this government. And also because Uganda is also part of the steering committee of the AUCFA. Our steering committee, which Uganda is part, is also our advisory body, and the Minister of Education, basic education in Uganda, is one of our champions in terms of implementation of the Africa Educate Her campaign. We are here, of course, in Uganda, but not having the meeting with Uganda. It's a meeting where we brought many different African countries, those who represent our focal point within AU Ministry of Education and AU Ministry of Gender, Families Affairs, Women Affairs, to discuss the work that we can do together, to implement the Africa Educate Her campaign. Africa Educate Her campaign, let me tell you, was a campaign which was launched in 2020 by the AUCFA at continental level during school closure and during the COVID-19 pandemic. We thought that after school reopening, this does not prevent that girls to stay lagging behind. And we thought that we should continue the campaign. And for us, the person to whom we should rely really to make sure that this campaign is being marketed, domesticated at national level will be our focal point. So the focal point are here to discuss the roadmap and the plan of action of the Africa Educate Her, and also to prepare the next Pan-African Conference on Girls' Education next year, because next year is going to be the AU Team on Education. It has been declared by our head of state as year of the education, and we thought that those focal points will be really our ambassador within the different countries, to implement Africa Educate Her, to prepare the Pan-African Conference, and for us to go beyond the narrative on girls' education.
According to Dr. Clophas Mujenyi, the Commissioner of Basic Education, Ministry of Education and Sports, continental statistics are still incomprehensive, but Uganda, as a partner member state, has made cognitive advancement towards the security of the girl child and women in regard to post-COVID education and skills empowerment.
Clophas Mujenyi, Commissioner of Basic Education, Ministry of Education and Sports, Uganda. Today, Uganda is hosting the second African Union meeting for International Center for Girls and Women Education in Africa, and our focus is on deliberating, discussing what we are doing after COVID-19 disruption that interrupted the education of our children, especially the girl child. How can we enhance and promote the education of the girl child amidst the effects of COVID-19? And what can we do to ensure that girls' education takes a center stage in the 21st century?